Yeah, what up? Can y'all hear me? What up? This is Mr. Royce of Royce Media coming at you guys with another video, with another live stream, and we're going to be doing some Unburdened Babble tonight. How y'all doing out there tonight? Y'all good? Yeah, happy Sunday. What's going on? Do me a favor, hit that like button as you guys come into the stream, and going to get a few more people in here. We'll get it going. How y'all feeling tonight, man? Y'all feeling good? Well, it's raining here in Northeast Florida, over in the greater Jacksonville metropolitan area. We got a little rain coming from that tropical storm, so that's what we're gonna be doing. But we're gonna be rocking out regardless. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like doing some unburdened babble. So that's what we're gonna do tonight. Yeah, check it out. So get your face from out of Big Shirley's butt and listen to this live stream. Yeah, I know what y'all be doing. Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to be doing this live stream today. I want to ask a few questions because I honestly don't understand why the people who are voting for Kamala Harris are doing so. I really don't understand it. And maybe some of you all can help me out because from what I've seen, from what she's done, she ain't done shit. So y'all help me out with that. Help me understand. I hear certain reasons like, oh, she's a black woman. No, she's not. She's a quarter black. And if you're holding on to that one drop theory, you got issues. You know, you got issues. That don't fly in this day and age. Um, as far as her doing black stuff, it's debatable. I personally think Rachel Dolezal has done more black stuff than her, but y'all got rid of her. Y'all wouldn't let her be black. She wanted to be black so bad, and y'all wouldn't let her be black. What's going on, Cortez? How you feeling? Shout out to Cortez Smith out there in the chat. I appreciate you, bro. We're gonna talk a little more about Vice President Kamala Harris. Kamala, whatever y'all call her. Right now she's doing in my opinion, she's doing a deep fake of being black. Cortez Smith says every time you ask why they vote for her, it's literally the same answer. She a BW. No other logical reasons. None. I mean, if you look at the border, which she was in charge of, the border was absolutely horrible. It's about as porous as a flour sifter. Everything gets through there. Don't hold jack. So, she didn't do good at that. So, as far as her being black, like I said, she is a quarter black at best. If that, she's a quadroon. And I don't know if you can really call that black. She did some black stuff. Like she joined she went to an HBCU, but there are a lot of white people that go to HBCUs, especially if they want to be veterinarians and different things like that. There's there's a sizable population of white people that go to HBCUs. So I don't think you can use that as far as her joining a black sorority. Again, there are videos all over the place of young white women's in black sororities. Y'all let guys in sororities. So I don't even think that count anymore. Straight up. So I don't understand the justification. You know, I think she's playing the I identify as game. Cortez Smith says, "Did you see the video of her saying she's not black?" I didn't see one where she definitively said she wasn't black, but I have seen the ones where she has identified as East Indian. And when she got her Senate seat, when she achieved becoming a United States citizen, senator in California, she, out of her own mouth, said she was the first person of South Asian descent in the Senate. She didn't say nothing about being a black woman. So, you know, what a hot sauce at? What a hot sauce at? Cortez Smith says, I used to play basketball at an HBCU with white dudes. I was surprised to see them there. And he laughed. You know what? Back in the day, when I did my little tour of schools, I saw white guys um, going to HBCUs. One in particular I saw them at was Tuskegee. And actually, G Dizzle has talked about this, that the veterinarian school, you have all people with different races going to that veterinarian school because apparently it's a decent school, but it's also one of the easiest schools to make it through. And so, in order to, achieve that goal of becoming a veterinarian, that's where they go. Cortez Smith says, I saw a video of her specifically saying she wasn't black. I forgot whose channel because it was years ago. Yeah, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. I mean, I saw the video of her that she did with Mindy Khan. Shout out to Mindy Khan. And they were both talking about their being South Asians, being Indians, South Asians, and she Kamala Harris didn't take out the opportunity to say, well, I'm also black as well. So I didn't see that. I've seen that video several times. Several content creators have made videos using that clip, and she not one time brought attention to her having black ancestry. And this whole thing with saying, "Oh, she's Jamaican, that makes her black." Listen, you go to Jamaica, there are people of all races that live in Jamaica and that have been there for a long time, that have been there for a few generations. You'll see Chinese people, you'll see Indians like Kamala Harris's father. You'll see Chinese people, Uh, there's a guy actually on TikTok that he does TikTok videos, and he's an Irish guy. He's neon white, and he speaks with a Jamaican accent. And it's not made up because his patois is down. He is down packed. That comes from growing up and being around um, you know, black Jamaicans all the time, if that's what you want to call them, Afro Jamaicans. You know, so that really doesn't say a lot because language is language and vernacular and stuff like that. That depends on where you come from. Really, it depends on where you come from. So that doesn't count. Now, getting back to Rachel Dolezal went balls to the wall, identifying as a black woman, to the point to where she would tan her skin, however she did it. She would curly perm her hair. She would wear box braids, and she would wear micro braids. She would wear all these different hairstyles that are common to Black American women. And for a long time, she hid her identity as a light skinned black person. And even after she was exposed of really being like white, and I mean Germanic white, she still identified as a black woman to the point to where this woman actually went she actually went to jail and was convicted of fraud, which a big part of that was her identifying as black. You know, Cortez Smith says the video of her. Oh, okay, we said. Oh, the video of her saying she's not black will be hard to find now because there are so many videos that got buried. Yes, they have been scrubbing the internet uh, of a lot of her stuff that would make people give her the side eye. But the thing is that the internet is forever. You can't scrub it all. So yeah, they've been doing that. Cortez Smith says, I remember when black women disowned Rachel proclaimed Sean King. Facts. Facts. All day. They claim Cardi B. Now Cardi B is Trinidadian and Dominican. She's Trinidadian and Dominican. Um, I am sure Cardi B probably has some black ancestry, you know. And she kind of, she uses the black card when it's convenient, just like uh, Vice President Harris. They use black card when it's convenient, and then when using their other racial demographic, they use that. But yeah, and Sean King, like the biggest fraud. He is one of those social justice, police bad, defund the police. Another black man got deleted by the police, and he's doing it because he's getting a bag. He's making money. Now, he wouldn't marry the black woman and stuff, and I guess in the mind of black American women, if you get in them guts and you give them a baby, that makes you black. I guess they see it that way, you know. But they've appointed Sean King a black man. And shout out to Dirty Folks. He always says black is for women, felons, and gays. And at this point, you can't argue with what Dirty Folks says. Shout out to Dirty Folks. It's my dude. Sean King says the good thing is that some black manosphere streams clipped her saying it. The bad news is that the stream has probably been deleted. Yeah, yeah. I think, especially getting closer to the 2024 presidential election, a lot of stuff will be deleted. I think I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of um, black manosphere content creators be attacked for saying anything derogatory to VP Harris. I wouldn't be surprised, not one bit. In fact, I'm 80% sure that that's going to happen. Cortez Smith says Cardi B may have black ancestry on her mom's side. It's hard to tell. Her dad is a blonde hair man, but he has strong Dominican features. Yeah, and see that's the funny thing about the Dominican Republic is that the Dominican Republic is the face of racial mixture. You have very few um all one race Dominicans. They all got a touch of something there, and that's because of the history of the country, you know. And so if her dad is Dominican, I wouldn't be surprised. Her mom is Trinidadian. Shout out to Trinidad, and she may have some African ancestry as well. Probably on both sides. And what I'll say about those Dominicans, you'll have Dominicans with blonde hair, and they'll still have broad noses and big lips as well. They'll still have those Africanoid features, So you know, you have that there. Same as in Puerto Rico, Cuba, and other places like that. So you have that. Getting back to Kamala Harris policy wise, what has she done? When she was a senator, she spent about 2 years as a senator, about the same amount of time as former President Barack Obama. Um, when he was a senator, and they didn't do anything. The real crux of work that we've seen out of Kamala Harris is when she was the Attorney General of the state of California, and that was where the criticism about her lies because of how she came down on primarily black people through lawfare withholding evidence that could have freed black death row inmate, at least one that I know about for sure, withholding evidence that would have exonerated black males that got locked up, locking up black males for marijuana, which, I personally, I don't care about it anyway. I don't smoke weed or anything. So, that's, it's neither here nor there. But the thing about it is, if you're so for black people and you see that this is an issue, you know, I would look at your policy. I would look at how you carried out your job regarding black men. If you say that, you're for black people, yeah, that it's fair to for people to look at that issue. Now the law is the law. On the other side of that, day, black people commit crimes and they got to deal with the system. It is what it is, but um it is fair for people to weigh that when considering what she says she stands for, which at this point we don't know what she stands for. I have seen several video clips. One of the most notorious video clips is when I was either it was either with Essence or the Griot, which I think they're owned by the same people, where she said she wasn't going to do any legislation to specifically benefit black people. Hmm. Think about that. Especially now with the reparations argument, with the discussion in throughout Black America about reparations and different things, that would raise some eyebrows, especially when you start talking, pro blacks and blacks that are, they call themselves conscious and stuff. That would be concerning to them because reparations is an important issue to them. Now, I already told you guys how I feel about reparations. Hey, Black Americans have the right to petition for them. Are they going to get them? Probably not. But I feel Black Americans 100% have the right to petition for them and to come up with their reasonings and to put it in front of the Supreme Court, really. Put it in front of Congress, put it in front of the Supreme Court and get a definitive answer. Well, Black Americans got a definitive answer from Barack Obama, and they got a definitive answer from Kamala Harris, which is pretty much it's not going to happen. So it is what it is, you know. Cortez Smith says she sounds like Barack with that statement. Exactly. She sounds exactly like she channeled Barack and 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 he said it through her. That's what it looked like to me. Like he, hey, if you got black politicians at the highest levels in the country saying they're not going to do anything for you, it's not going to happen. That's pretty much what it is. And for black Americans to think that's somehow going to change, that's as wishful thinking. Um, I mean, the closest black Americans got to reparations is when Donald Trump said through the Platinum Plan, he was going to allocate $400 billion to Black Americans. He's the only politician that I can think of ever in history, especially during my time on this planet. And I'm in my early 50s. Just had a birthday, so I'm old. But in my lifetime, he's the only one at that level to say it. And he was the president when he said it. He was running for re-election, and he said it. You can't argue that. Now, had he won the election, that's something you can say, hey, Donald Trump, we voted for you because you said this. This is what we want. This is what, what are you going to do about it? But he put he said it. Nobody else said it. Barack didn't say it. Joe Biden sure as hell didn't say it. Kamala Harris didn't say it, but we have black people, we have black Americans that's going to try to vote for this woman, regardless. She already told you where she's staying. So I don't understand. Help me understand because right now everything is saying that it's not the best choice for you if you're black and you want stuff. Do y'all realize with her being VP, she co-signed all of the illegal immigrants getting all of this money and opportunity and government help that they're getting? She co-signed that. Never once did she get on TV and say, oh, no, I don't agree with the president on this. I don't think we should be doing this. This is something we got to address in the White House. Never, not one time. So what are y'all voting for? For abortions? She's a one issue politician, really. The way I see it, she's a one issue politician, and that is protecting reproductive rights, which the only reproductive right they're really trying to protect is deleting babies. That's a one issue. She's a one issue politician. That's the only thing she's really definitively said. She's repeatedly said things to that effect. So y'all voting to delete babies. Kamala Harris supporters, are y'all voting to be able to the right to delete babies? Hey, don't let me get in your way. But that's what I see. Don't let me get in your way, but that's what I see. So talk to me. Talk to me. You know. Hey, do me a favor, hit that like button, man. As y'all coming in, hit that like button. I know we got a few people listening in the cloud, and that's cool. Do me a favor and hit that like button. That's the least you can do. I'm not asking for any money, but if you want to donate, my Cash App is scrolling across the screen. I have the QRF up for it. So if you want to donate, cool. If you don't want to donate and you don't want to say anything, that's cool. Hit that like button. Hit that like button, man. You know. So speaking of Kamala Harris, one of the people on the short list for VP, this guy's last name is Shapiro. Let me find out what his first name is because I want to make sure I say it right because there are a few Shapiros out there of note. One being Adam Shapiro, one being the OJ lawyer. He's a Shapiro. I've seen a few Shapiros in the legal profession. Let me make sure I got the right one. Josh Shapiro. Josh Shapiro. I saw a video of this guy channeling Barack Obama. It was hilarious. He was using the Barack Obama vernacular and mannerisms and speaking tones. Yeah, you know what it was. He was pandering. He was clearly pandering. He's clearly doing what Democrats do, and what Democrats do is you know, they do the song and dance. They shuck and jive because, hey, Black Americans, they figure that you all like that, and apparently that's what you do like because that's what you vote for. Play a saxophone, sing a Al Green song, take some hot sauce out your purse, out your bag, and do the bus stop of the Cupid shuffle, and it got our vote. Oh, wait till y'all see my next thumbnail. Y'all saw the thumbnail I had scrolling, I had going for this video, and it was Kamala Harris as the Riddler because she always talks about that um what is what that unburdened stuff, what is it, what is unburdened by the past, what was is unburdened by what can be. It's some crazy stuff. Sounds like some crazy stuff in the Riddler that if you don't solve it, a building's gonna blow up. Every time she said it, I just go, "What? What does that even mean?" I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I got a college degree. I tend to understand what people are saying, even when they're not saying it right. But I don't understand what she's talking about. I really don't. And I think as a politician, you need to speak plain to the public because not everybody can read and write beyond the sixth grade level. And as we can see in a lot of these urban schools, most of the kids can't do that. They can't pass a police exam, which is given at the sixth grade level. I bet you all didn't know that. Police exams are given at the sixth grade level. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, what they're talking about that what was unburdened, what was is unburdened by what could be. Don't nobody understand that shit. Nobody has once says, ma'am, what do you mean when you say that? Listen, say what you got to say to me like I am 7 years old. Don't be talking, riddles and mystery stuff. It's like when you get to the bridge. For those of you all who have read stories and those old RPG type games and the Camelot stuff, and you had that troll up under the bridge, and you got to answer the riddle. That's basically what it's like she's giving you one of them riddles. You got to figure it out in order to cross past the bridge, past the troll. Man, Cortez Smith says it's amazing how that's all they got to do to get the black vote. Yeah, go eat some chicken and potato salad. Go talk in a southern vernacular. I ain't in no way tight. You grew up in California and Canada. Don't nobody talk like that in California and Canada unless they're from Louisiana and they're recent arrival from Louisiana. People don't talk like that in California generally. And VP Harris, you don't talk like that. We've heard you talk plenty of time, and you don't talk with a Southern vernacular, but all of a sudden, she's become a Southern belle within the last few months. Ain't that funny? Ain't that something? You a Southern belle now? You talking like you from Jackson, Mississippi? You talking like you from Little Rock, Arkansas? You talking like you from Baton Rouge, Louisiana? Come on now, woman. Like George Bush used to say, fool me. He was another Riddler. He would say, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, fool me again. It's like, what? What are you talking about? These people are playing in your face. If you're a Kamala Harris supporter, she's playing in your face. She's disrespecting your intelligence. She's insulting your intelligence, and you're letting her just for some representation. Who's she gonna represent? She's representing East Indians from everything I've seen. She's representing people from India, from South India. You know, and I'll tell you something. If that's what she was going with, I could respect it. But now all of a sudden she's a black girl. I'm waiting on her to pull out a Jamaican accent, but that's not going to get her any votes because the Jamaican population in the U.S. ain't that big, and they pretty much have been absorbed by the Black American population. Same with Africans. Same as people from Trinidad, so forth and so on. They pretty much are absorbed by the black population, and the black population is trying real hard to absorb Dominicans. um, you know, the Mino blacks, which I agree with. Just because you got a little sub-Saharan African DNA, it doesn't make you black. What makes you black is that you have that. Plus, you primarily speak English. You are primarily Christian, and you don't have an attachment to an African country or African culture. Especially West African. If you don't, that's what makes you black. You know, black people are white people with suntans, in my opinion. you know, you go mention to the average black person, you pray to the Orishas. They don't know what you're talking about, and those that do, oh, I love Jesus. I love Jesus. Oh, Jesus. My Jesus, my Jesus. That ain't, you know, that ain't that's not African. You know, even Cubans and Dominicans and Puerto Ricans have Santeria, and that is heavy um, with African cultural influence. They have a legacy from the Spanish crime. That's not black. So when they say that, I agree with them. You know, Cortez Smith says next she's going to say she grew up listening to Tupac. Oh wait, she actually did say that. Right, Tupac was like 9 years old when she was in college. She's talking about she was smoking weed listening to Tupac. That is disrespectful. Had she said I listened to Melly Mel and the Furious Five, I listened to Slick Rick, or I listened to LL Cool J or something like that, she would have got away with it. Had she said she listened to KRS-One and Boogie Down Production or Big Daddy Kane or something like that, she would have got away with it. But she said Tupac. She said Tupac. Something's wrong with that. She lied for the whole world to see. And disrespected her father in the process. Her father is from what I'm hearing, he's very Jamaican. He's very proud of his Jamaican heritage, and he found it disrespectful that she said that. He looked at it as a slight to say that, he took it as she's saying that that's what Jamaicans do. They run around smoking weed and stuff. And, if you know anything about Jamaica, I don't know what it is right now, but last time I was in Jamaica was 2019, and weed was illegal. It was very illegal there. You get caught with weed, you go to jail in Jamaica. Yeah. Cortez Smith says she's not even a good liar. She didn't even put up the effort to lie to black people. It's true. I mean, she could have made the lies convincing. They're not even convincing, bro. They're not even convincing. It doesn't take a whole lot to go, hey, no, you lied about that. Yeah, man. So I don't understand what black Americans why they're voting for. You know, she flooded their neighborhoods with a whole bunch of foreigners, Venezuelans, and whatever, whoever else came, because it wasn't just Venezuelans and it wasn't just Hondurans. It was people from China coming through that border. Haitians are coming through that border. You got Belizeans coming through that border. You got, you know, Arabs coming through that border. You got Iraqis coming through that border. You got Afghanis coming through that border. You got a whole lot of people coming through that border, and they're putting them primarily in black neighborhoods, making black neighborhoods unsafe. With all of the issues that black neighborhoods have, they injected extra crime there. Because guess what? They're not going to Mexican neighborhoods. They're not going to Mexican neighborhoods. And Puerto Rican neighborhoods don't tend to be that big. They're not going to Puerto Rican neighborhoods. They're going to black neighborhoods. In Chicago, they're going to Inglewood. If you don't, Inglewood is historically black. If you know anything about Inglewood in Chicago, it's historically black. You got Venezuelans all over that place, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. And there are content creators that talk about it, man. Minister Jap, Mr. O with the info. There are several content creators that talk about it. I've even seen content creators that have shown video of Venezuelans and stuff in Inglewood, you know. So, and with those Venezuelans that came, that come, a lot of them are, them are street people, the street people, and with street people come street problems. And when people are desperate and when people feel like they can get away with stuff, they do what they can get away with, what they think they can get away with, and you got a whole lot of nonsense going on there. So, and it's affecting the people whose neighborhoods have had it the worst, especially when you look at what happened in 2018 to 2020, with the summers of love and all of the protests, George Floyd and Orlando Castile and Philando Castile, whatever that dude's name is, and Trayvon Martin and stuff. How Black Americans tore up their own neighborhoods. Now you're gonna put some more people in there that are struggling, competing directly for resources. How did Kamala Harris help? How did the Biden administration help? They didn't help when they took over. Now, mind you, some of the people started coming before the Biden administration came in. But once the Biden administration came in, they opened the floodgates. They made a bad situation worse. This is y'all gonna vote for more of this? This economy suck. I was paying $2.11 in gas on some days when Trump was in office. People had gas money back in them days. It was awesome. I put away almost 100 grand in discretionary money when Trump was in office. You think I don't want to go back to that? You think I don't want to go back to that? Everybody was getting jobs. People was getting hired everywhere. Dudes I knew with 3 felonies was getting jobs, getting good jobs, like at Ford Motor. I used to work. One of the places I used to patrol was Ford Heights, and there's a Ford Motor plant in Ford Heights. And guys I know that had felonies was able to turn their life around because they were able to get jobs at Ford. This is during the Trump era. Everybody was getting money, man. It was people, man. I know like 4 guys that started construction companies and was getting money. One of my guys opened up a restaurant, and it was doing decent until Summers of Love. He had to close it, man, because state is gonna state. But man, people was getting money. People was making money, man. Like I said, gas is cheap. Man, yeah, things could have been even better. You know, but another 4 years of Trump, I think a whole lot of stuff would have got better. Interest rates on houses were like low, man. I know people was getting like 1.2% interest rates on houses. Right, man. Last year, the interest rate got as high as 7%. I hadn't seen 7% in for a long time, since after 2008. Them interest rates got rock bottom. We were energy independent. We were drilling for oil. The United States was coming back. Trump was making America great. 2020 happened. Trump lose the election. Um, Biden get in. First thing he do is hire a flip chicken to become, a big wig in his cabinet, and then made him an admiral in the Navy. And the first thing I noticed, I'm not going to even go there. First thing I noticed that the price of chicken wings doubled because allegedly there was a shortage in chicken wings. Now, mind you, chickens have two wings, just like they have two legs, two thighs, two sides to the breast, you know. But the first thing was the price of chicken wings went up, but not the other parts of the chicken. The chicken wings. Come on, man. People are playing in your face. It's like they said, this is what you get for voting for us. Pickle and peanut butter 22566. How you doing? What up, man? I appreciate you being here. Yeah, man. I the first thing I noticed was the price of chicken. Was I love chicken wings. There's a spot I used to go to. There's two spots I used to go to when I was working in Chicago. Whenever I got a chance, I would go to Harold's, and I would go to Harold's, and I would go to Uncle Remus. And man, I would eat chicken wings once, twice a week at work. I'd get a 4 piece or a 6 piece, some fries with mild sauce on them, and so when the price of chicken wings went up, I noticed that immediately because that's what I mostly ate. Um, and I was like, man, these people are playing and these people are playing in the face of black people, man. Pickles and peanut butter 2566 says KFC is a ripoff. It says barbecue chicken is the way to go. Yeah, man. Yeah. Barbecue chicken is awesome, man. Barbecue chicken, jerk chicken. I like chicken, man. I think chicken is great. It's great. It's a great food, man. But yeah, I saw that and the gas got up. I in Chicago, I paid as much as $4.96 for gas. It was more than double what I was paying then during the Trump administration. That's crazy. Pickles and peanut butter says I'm in Cali, only got change here. They only got change there. Yeah, man. California, man. The infrastructure socially, California is the worst. Weather-wise and geographically, California is absolutely beautiful. But I don't even want to go. My wife want to go to California because she wants to see some stuff in California. She want to see Beverly Hills and Rodeo Drive and different stuff like that. I don't want to take it because it's shit expensive. I got cousins in LA, man. That I would love to see, but I really don't want to. I really don't want to spend the money to go out there to California. It ain't even that serious to me, man. But making your own chicken on the grill, yeah, making your own chicken on the grill is awesome, man. I do it, once, twice a week, you know. But yeah, man, California is horrible, man. My relatives from California be calling me, telling me how crazy it is, man. I don't want to go. The only reason I'm going is take my wife. The only reason I'll go is take my wife, man. Like I said, I got family there. I really don't care to see them because it's too expensive. The cost is too damn high. Pickles and peanut butter said gas is $3.99. That's what gas is out there in LA. Says LA sucks. Yeah, man. LA, from all accounts, it does. I tell you, man, back in the day, I went to San Diego. San Diego is beautiful. That's where 29 Palms is. And I went out there for graduation. One of my relatives graduated, from basic out there at 29 Palms back in the day. It's beautiful, man. It was beautiful. But they say even now out there in San Diego, there's a lot of problems out there now. Pickles and Peanut Butter says, I'm in the middle, got the coast 2 hours away, the mountains are half an hour away. That's cool, man. So you're in Central California. Yeah, yeah. So yeah. Yeah, man. So yeah, but getting back to this whole thing, man, it's like the Biden administration got in office with Vice President Harris, and like everything went up, man, and just all kinds of crazy stuff happened, man. It was horrible for the economy. Cortez Smith says that's a good thing about the sec. A lot of things are still not that expensive, you know. Yet, um, I don't know what the sec is, Cortez. I'm not familiar. You got to bring me up to speed with that because kind of lost me. Peanut Butters and Pickles said, used to live in Colorado. Air and sky so clean and clear, no beach. Man, hey, listen, I was at Fort Carson for some training, and Colorado was absolutely beautiful. Like, well, the most beautiful base I went to was Fort Carson. I was like, Cortez, the southeast. Okay, yeah, you know. See, I'm on the Southeast Cortez. I'm in Florida, as you know. I'm in Northeast Florida. I'm not far from Jacksonville, which is really Jacksonville. You can kind of consider it the last part of the southern South. You know, everything. You know, pretty much once you pass Daytona, Daytona is really Las Vegas by the water. And then when you get past Daytona, Orlando becomes, everything gets more tropical by the time you get to the, Miami and the Keys. It's like a Latin country. Pickles and Peanut Butter says, "Oh yeah, cool, Royce. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's um, where I'm at is cool, man. We kind of, I'm kind of in the sweet spot, in Florida because it's still southern, but it ain't like Pensacola, man. I can't do Pensacola. I got some family there, and that's Pensacola is basically southeast Alabama. You know, in my opinion, Tallahassee is basically um, Tallahassee is pretty much South Carolina. you know, um, Jacksonville is basically Georgia. Jacksonville is like it's like Atlanta without as much of the you know the the sugar boys. You know, Pickles and Peanut Butter says, I was there when 9/11 hit with NORAD right there and me living in the Springs. It was crazy. It was like COVID. Like it was COVID. Everyone buying up all the water and TP up there in Colorado. Yeah. I would like to actually take my wife to Colorado so she can see the airport because they say it's a lot of strange stuff about the airport out there in Colorado. There's like an underground base up under that joint. So, that's I don't know how true that is, but that's what I heard, man. But yeah, Colorado is beautiful, man. Um I was in I was in a military school with a native from California. She was cool people, man. She was cool people, good looking girl too. You know, yeah, but like, man, everybody I know from Colorado was cool. Man, in Colorado, like I said, was beautiful. Colorado is beautiful, very clean. But I hear even with the legalization of cannabis there, I heard it changed a bit. Yeah, Cortez Smith says, I heard about the airport too. Yeah, man, I actually would like to do a tour of the airport, man. I guess they have like tours of the airport and they talk about some of the mystery stuff. See, I like to do like them tours like that, like the strange happenings and supernatural stuff. I like to do tours like that. I'm right outside of St. Augustine and they have one there, man. St. Augustine is crazy, you know. It's supposedly like real haunted. So, Pickles and Peanut Butter says I thought it would be all country folk, but I was wrong. Are you still talking about Colorado? Pickles and Peanut Butter? Um, yeah, Colorado. Yeah, it's not really country folk. I tell you what else is beautiful. I was out in Utah. Utah is beautiful. I was in Utah in February. And the funny thing with Utah is that in the morning, it would literally be 4 or 5 inches of snow. By the afternoon, all snow was gone. And it would be like 73 degrees outside. It was crazy, man. In February in Colorado, man. I mean in Utah. Um, Pickles and peanut butter. So yeah. Oh wow, you're in Florida? Yeah, man. I'm in Florida, man. I'm not too far from Vanilla Ice. Mr. Ice Ice Baby. Hey man, they love that dude in these parts. I don't care what y'all say. Vanilla Ice is, he's the man up here. It's crazy, man. They love that dude. I don't think that dude made a record. I don't think that dude made a song or anything in about 30 some years, 35 years. And they love that dude. Like he just came out with something, a couple years ago. They love Vanilla Ice. And you can spot him in different spots, or. Yeah, yeah, it's tripped out, man. Yeah, um, yeah. Not too long ago, a cat from Jacksonville, Julio Fulio he got killed. He had that one song where he was talking about like these other guys that got killed. And his number was up, and they've been talking about his murder. I guess they caught like four of the people that were involved with that. It was a girl and three guys, and so they've been talking about that stuff. So that's like the big thing there. Pickles and peanut butter says that guy invests his money. Yeah, yeah. He's got you know he's living real decent, especially this area that we're in. You kind of got to have a little money to live here. You don't see a whole lot of piss bums and stuff. This is a scorpion, pickles and peanut butter. This is a scorpion. This is one of my daily smokes. I have my special smokes that are like this is a scorpion. It's made by Camacho. One, I smoke it because number one, I like it, and then number two, Camacho is one of my family names. So, it's a little bit of a family loyalty. And yes, we are related to those Camachos. I am related to those Camachos, very distant relative, but yes, the Camachos that came out of Cuba. And that went to Honduras and rolled cigars. I have a distant attachment to those, a distant connection to those people. I also have another relative that is very famous Camacho as well. Shout out to my Camacho family members. You know, we out here getting it. Yeah, tether life. Yeah, that's right, tether life. Proud tether here. Shout out to Tariq. I heard that guy might be Jamaican. If it is ever found out that he is Jamaican, I am going to laugh my ass off. And we talked about that the last live stream I did. Camacho, yeah. We talked about that the last live stream I did. How a lot of Black Americans don't realize the amount of Caribbean influence within Black America. Caribbean people been coming back and forth to the U.S. In some capacity for years, and a lot of people who think they may be completely FBA may find a Haitian or Bahamian relative in that bloodline somewhere. Tariq being Jamaican would be hilarious. It would be, man. It would be hilarious. Yeah. Yeah, Cortez Smith Camacho, man. Pickles and peanut butter. Are you in the area of concern with that weather? A little bit. Um, the area I'm in right now, from what we're getting, uh, it's primarily a tropical storm, but we have like outside the area, there are concerns about tornadoes. I moved from the Midwest. Literally, when I was in the Midwest, I was in Tornado Alley, and only experienced two. And I get down here to Florida, man. Every year, you hear some tornado talk. Yeah, man. But yeah, Tariq, and she was of Jamaican descent, that would be hilarious. I would laugh my ass off because he's got his FBA cult going on, and I troll them guys, man. Even though I was raised by an FBA man, my stepfather is FBA, cool dude, but he used to make tether jokes back in the day. He would have his little goofy tether jokes. Uh, you rotten motherfucker. I've talked about it before, Pickles and Peanut Butter say, oh, dang, be safe. Pickles and Peanut Butter says, do you have a basement? No, man, Florida, we don't do basements. If you had a basement in Florida, you going to have problems. We don't have basements. We have garages. There are garages, and we don't have porches. We have lanais, so that's the difference. I'm not sure how they do it out in California because last time I was in California was like 1992. Snoop was just Dog Pound had just gotten popping. Snoop had just gotten popping. That was last time I was in California, so I'm not sure how they do it out there in California. But Florida, we really don't have. If you see a basement, that's an anomaly. Yeah. Cortez Smith says the FBA cult is more about division than making people aware. It seemed like it, man. And I get it, having some ancestral pride and stuff. I get that part. I get it, you know, but it's like when it starts being when you start using it as a way to jab at other people, then it's like, all right, motherfucker, you know. Pickles Peanut Butter says no basements here in Colorado. No basements here in Colorado, yes. Okay. Yeah. 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 Um I would imagine it's like that in California because I don't recall seeing basements there. Um in California. I mean, I probably said Colorado. I didn't mean that, but I meant California. California, Colorado, they both out west. As far as I'm concerned, they both out west. Pickles Peter Butt says, I'm white, never got the race thing, grew up with all races. You're cool, you're cool. You know what? I'm gonna tell you something, Pickles Peanut Butter. That's pretty much how I grew up. I really didn't understand the racial division until I really got to somewhat in high school. But really once I started working, especially when I was working at the jail, that's why I saw it was really a big thing, and it was like really broken down. And we're like, even with the race thing, you had groups, man. Like, like you had the Irish, and then you had the English, but you had the Polish and stuff like that. They all them people had them divisions, and then with the blacks, you had the Caribbean blacks didn't fuck with the what we would call FBAs. They didn't really intermingle and deal with each other. Then you had the Latinos, which you had Mexicans, and then you kind of had everybody else. You had Mexicans primarily. You had Puerto Ricans, and they really didn't do a whole lot together. Chicago was very segregated, man. And but growing up, I grew up primarily on the north side and on the west side in Humboldt Park, and everybody kind of dealt with everybody. They was more focused on gang culture. You had to be. If you wasn't in a gang, you had issues. If you was in a gang, and it wasn't a neighborhood gang, you had issues. It was crazy. Cortez Smith says a lot of white people here are like that. When I tell them a lot of Alabama is mixed, they think I'm lying. We talked about Alabama on my last stream, and I was breaking down how, especially in Southeast Alabama, like places like Monroeville and Monroeville and Mobile, a lot of because of the port, Historically, you got a few families there where the black people actually have Spanish roots, and that have relatives in Cuba, you know. Um, so yeah. Pickles and Peanut Butter says, in your opinion, is it racist for a group of people, for people to group up in their own race, or is it more about survival? I think it depends. I think it's both. Honestly, as far as in the pen, in the pen is definitely survival. Definitely, survival is an overriding concern. And that's just how they mob up, man. You know, um, and it's yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll leave it at that. The pen is whew. But I've never been to the pen. I've been a law-abiding citizen all my life, but I did work in a correctional facility. I worked at the Cook County Jail for a few years, and I learned quite a bit about that. That is predominantly black. Hispanic is the second largest group. I think white was the third, and then you had every now and then you would see like an Asian, like a Chinese or an Indian or something. But yeah, the funny thing about the jail though, you had uh you had white guys who was gang banging with the bros. Yeah. It was either gang banging with the bros or gang banging with like the Latinos. White guys kind of divided up like that. In jail, in prison, it was probably different. But in jail, it was kind of like that. Most of the time, they either clicked up with the uh, with the Puerto Ricans or the Mexicans. But you had a few white boys that was in there, man. They GDs, yeah, either that or if they were Royals, they were under the Folks Nation, and they would click up with the GDs, Um, Cortez Smith says, you go downtown area of most of these cities, you'll see whites and blacks in the same bar. I heard people on YouTube say it's still fully segregated here, and then he laughs. Um, the last time I was in Alabama, um, I seen black and white people mingling together, and it was like all the same people, man. It was all country as bumpkins. It was all Bamas. excuse my term, but that's the best way to describe it. It was all Bamas, man. We stayed at a hotel. I went to a funeral for a relative on my FBA side, and we stayed at this hotel, man. And I seen bums of every race, bums and dolphins and crackheads of every race in Alabama. It was crazy, man. You know, divestors would love it there. They would love it there. Well, Pickles and Peanut Butter says raise and it races home, but like I said, I never played into it. Yeah, man, it happens like that, man. I think with each generation, they tend to care less about that because of the exposure. And I think it happens naturally, even though they did legislate, desegregation. The problem with that is that people were already on the path of desegregating. And I think through just, the passage of time, people would desegregate because they wanted to. The people who don't want to desegregate, they're going to keep segregation. But a lot of people are like, man, fuck that. I ain't got time for that. Like you said, if you cool, you cool. You see a lot of that. And yeah, you're gonna have your people that ain't gonna rock with it. And that's gonna always be that way. And you're gonna have people that's gonna be like, man, and I'm cool with, Fred over there. In this part of Florida that I'm in, you see white people and black people hanging out all the time, like family. It's crazy, like family. that whole invited to the barbecue, man. You know, don't man. They don't say that shit in real life. Don't nobody be, man. You know. Cortez Smith says we have a lot of homeless divestors here. Yeah, hey, when I was in Mobile, Alabama, and yeah, I saw a lot of homeless looking divestors, man. Like, it's like once you cross that bridge coming from Florida into once you cross from Pensacola coming into Alabama, whew, yeah, I saw a lot of them, man. Like especially downtown, um like right outside the outskirts of downtown Mobile, you see a lot of it, so Pickles Peanut Butter says sorry about all the race questions, Royce. Man, I don't care about that, man. I'm not tripping on that. Cortez Smith says, yeah, we can see that we can see that with Gen Z. They ain't on the race stuff like that. Yeah, man, they do they do what they want to do, man. They Gen Z is different, and I think that's one of the things about them that hey, that's cool. I think they're fruitier than normal, but hey, that they've been bombarded with that stuff, so a lot of them gonna be curious. But yeah, pickles and peanut butter, I ain't tripping on that, man. I'm not one of them. I'm not one of these guys, though. I'm not an Ungawa Black Power guy. First of all, I'm a tether. I like white women. I married one, and I come from a very mixed Caribbean, Central American family. We got everything in us. Pickles and peanut butter said homeless here too. We're a beacon town. We invite them in from other cities. It's horrible. I'll bet. I bet. Smell like ass and feet everywhere. I smell like athlete's foot everywhere. Yeah. Cortez Smith said, I noticed homeless BWs refuse to deal with homeless B men. The homeless BM are with homeless WWs. Yeah, man. Yeah. Birmingham is probably a trip, man. I haven't been to Birmingham like decades. I'm old, so last time I was in Birmingham was in the '90s, man, and I was just passing through. You know, the FBA side of my family, they're in South Alabama, so like I said, Monroeville, Mobile, and stuff like that. They're in that area. Cortez Smith says, yeah, they're definitely a bit more fruity. There's trade-offs, I guess. And he laughs. Yeah, man, that's Gen Z. That's they're different. What's funny is when I see him try to come at Gen Z, Gen X, and I'm like, hey, y'all don't fight. We fought coming up. We had gang fights, we had school fights, we had homecoming game fights, we had neighborhood fights. That's all we did. Y'all don't want to mess with us. We know how to fight. We're all treacherous. We came up with the razor blade under your tongue. Y'all got glizzies in your mouth. We're not the same. Gen Z, we not the same. Y'all, we had guys that dressed up like Prince, but they still get girls. Y'all got guys that want to be the girls. You know. Cortez Smith says, uh, I'm not gonna lie, swimming in the milk has been some of the funniest experiences I had, especially for chata Mexican. Yeah, man, I'm tell you, when I was in high school, um, for some reason Mexican girls were crazy about me. And I couldn't stand them. I couldn't stand them. I just didn't like them, particularly, and they stayed in my face and write me little goofy "Do you like me?" letters and stuff. Oh, it was crazy, man. Um, in high school, and even when I got out of high school, man, it was Mexican girls, man, would be on me, man. Cortez Smith says, I noticed Gen Z doesn't even have viral fight videos, only pow pow. You know what? The girls do. Gen Z women fight, but women of all generations fight because nobody's stopping from fighting. It's the guys. Gen Z guys shoot. Gen Z guys, they go straight to the gunplay. They go straight to the gunplay. They don't fight or nothing, man. They say what you trying to get into, they ready to shoot. Ain't no, they don't really square up like that. A few do, but they mostly shoot. The Gen Z girls, they fight. They always fight, man. When I was working, majority of the fights that I had to break up, that I had to report to, that I would get emergency calls, it was women fighting. It was women fighting. Guys would be shooting. They would shoot. The dudes fight girls nowadays. Well, hey, girls say that they are equal to guys, so that's what you're gonna get when you raised by violent women. You're not gonna have guys that really to have that. You should never hit a woman. Gen Z different. They're equal to women, and so they'll fight a woman. Hey, it is what it is. I blame it on the women. Straight up. You know, you say you equal to a man and you can whoop a man, guess what? Some man gonna take you up on your offer, especially during in Gen Z. Cortez Smith says, when I was in school, the majority of the fights by far were female. Yeah, yeah. Now when I went to school, it was guys. Guys fought all the time. The girls really didn't fight. Girls would get guys jumped. They committed violence by proxy, but the girls really. We had a gang of girls when I was in high school. We had a gang of girls that would jump other girls. But it was really like maybe seven of them, and I went to a big high school, and it was like a gang of like seven girls. They used to run around fighting girls and stuff. But for the most part, it was guys that was fighting and stuff. But like working working in law enforcement, having to work high schools and stuff like that, is girls do all of the last day of school fights for like the holidays and summer break, and they do all of the first week of school fights. They do all of the fighting after the games. It was mostly girls. Guys go to they go to the gunplay. They pistol play. Yeah, Gen Z doesn't have the same soft spot for females. I don't see it, man. Hey, Gen Z guys, they'll put paws on a girl, but they'll shoot each other. The game is different with them. Yeah. So yeah, man. Yeah, but yeah, but yeah, man, getting back to BP Harris, man, I don't see I really don't see the reason to vote for her, man. And um, you know, she's going to get the delegates she needs, which they're going to do some stuff that's unconstitutional, that's really undemocratic. But that's what they do, man. That's what they do. Pickles and peanut butter says, anybody drinking? Nah, man. Yeah. You know what? Every now and then I'll pour a drink or two, but I don't really drink. It's like the older I get, the less I drink, man. And I like my whiskey. I've been drinking whiskey since I was 11. But like even now, man, like if I go out, I'll have more than two whiskeys and that's it. I'm done. Um, yeah, man. I'd rather smoke a cigar, man. That's my guilty pleasure. I love my cigars, man. I'd rather smoke a cigar. Now, I will, sometimes, like especially like if I'm on vacation, I'll get a fine cigar, like my father, or an Ashton or something, and I'll drink, I'll get a glass of scotch, you know. But yeah, I don't drink that much. Pickles and peanut butter, love it. Wow, yeah, hey, man, it's a funny story. So, my mom used to go to church. Uh, you know, she had single mothers in the church we used to go to, and there's this one girl. She was a young, pretty girl. She was sexy. Well, she needed some help moving, but she couldn't take off work, and so she had her father was moving her stuff into his place. And so my mom, sent me over there to help her because you know how that how that shit go. She sent me over there to help, and so I helped move the stuff. And it's an old guy, and he was real old too, man. He had to be like almost 70. And after we got through moving all that stuff and sitting there, I'm sitting there sweating because this was in summertime and stuff like that. And he was like, hey, I appreciate you helping me, young man. Hey, he had this bottle of old granddad. He said, hey, you want a shot of this? I look around, yeah. And so that man, it's the first time I had whiskey, man. I've been drinking, and I was 11 years old. I've been drinking whiskey ever since. And you know what? And it's funny because I grew up on whiskey. I cannot drink clear liquor. Clear liquor kicks my ass. In fact, the last time I really drank clear liquor was I was on a trip. I want to say like around 2015. We went on a cruise and we went to Mexico, and my son had it might have been earlier than that. My son, drinking age in Mexico is like 14, and my son was 14. And he was like, well, I'm 14 and the drinking age is 14 here, so I want to drink. So I said, oh, you want to drink? And we were on this little ferry boat, and they were giving out tequila shots. This was off the Mayan coast, and we were headed to the mainland. So um so my son says that. So I said, "Oh, you think you want to have a drink?" So I say, and he had his he had his best friend there. I said, yeah, hey, I want two double shots of tequila for them. We give them the double shots. They both taste them. They're like, "Oh my god, this is terrible." And so, I'm laughing and stuff. Everybody's laughing, and so I don't believe in wasting liquor, especially back then. So I said, well, I'm not going to let these two double shots go to waste. So I take them to the head, and I'm like, and it's tequila. It's not like the tequila in the U.S. I drink these tequila shots, and I'm like, I didn't taste anything. I mean, they were like, they seemed weak. I was like, oh man, these tequila shots are watered down. So, all right, it is what it is. So, So we get to the little excursion. We're hanging out. I have like four more tequila shots because I'm thinking that this tequila is weak. Me not really understanding real Mexican tequila. So, I drink these tequila shots and I'm feeling good. I got a little buzz going on. I'm like, all right, I'm cool. I see this hermit crab with a shell on its back going across the sand on the beach. And I said, oh, let me pick this up and show the kids because they'll get a kick out of this. So I bend over to try to pick it up. And I get woozy. I'm like, woof. Okay, yeah, I got a buzz going. So I'm like, okay. So me and my wife, after the excursion's over, my family, we all get on this bus going back to take us to the port. And me and my wife, we're having a great conversation, spending time. And somebody behind me opens up the bus window as I'm talking to my wife. And so when they open the window and the air temperature changed, my eyes rolled in the back of my head. And that tequila hit me like, ow. And I'm like, oh, I get toe up like instantly. As soon as that air hit me, man, I get toe up. We get back to the port. and I could barely walk onto the boat because I'm sloppy. I'm like, oh. And so they had to guide me through the body scan to get me on the boat. And man, that tequila tore me up, man. I was like, whoa. But I woke up later that night at about 2 o'clock in the morning and no hangover. No hangover whatsoever. Went and got something to eat and hung up. I was cool. I had no hangover. But that's when I learned, hey, real tequila is it'll sneak up on you, man. You won't have a hangover, but it will sneak up on you and it'll beat you like Julio Cesar Chavez. Man, man, tequila tore me up, man. Uh, Pickles and peanut butter says, "Did I puke?" I'm assuming he's talking about the whiskey. No, no, man. I took that shot of whiskey like a champ. I was like, man. After that, I was drinking Wild Turkey, man. Every time I had a little change and was hanging out with the buddies, especially when I started DJing parties and stuff, me and my buddy always had a bottle of Wild Turkey. The tequila should come with bail money. Yes. Yes, indeed, man. Oh my God. I got another tequila story, man, where we went to a tequila shop and was hanging out with this Mexican dude that worked at the shop. He was real cool, man. And he was giving me these samples of the tequila and I'm getting buzzed up and we laughing and stuff. Dude tried to sell me some coke. Hey, yeah, I got you. I want some coke. I got the cocaine. I was like, nah, man. I ain't trying to go that far, man. Yeah, man, you trying to sell me some cocaine, man. Because peanut butter says just a smell. Nah, man. Hey, man, I was born to drink whiskey, I think, man. Pickles and peanut butter says, so you went from here and here you go, son, to old crap. So you went from here you go, son, to old crap. Yeah, yeah. In a nutshell, that in summary, that's what it was. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, man. I stay away from tequila, vodka, vermouth, all of that stuff. If it's light, it ain't right. I don't drink it. I drink dark liquor. I know how to drink dark liquor. I pace myself, by me being a Caribbean boy, I drink a lot of rum. Well, I've drank a lot of rum. Like I said, I don't really drink that too often now. So I probably have a couple of drinks every week and a half, if that. But it's all dark liquor, rum, whiskey, bourbon, stuff like that. So yeah, man. Yeah. Scotch. I like my scotch. I like my scotch when I'm on a cruise ship. And in fact, shout out to my boy G Dizzle. We're gonna start doing some cruise ship bros stuff, man, which is safe stuff and show you guys how to travel on cruise ships and have wholesome fun, because ain't neither one of us neither one of us we're both married men and we're not out here chasing and we actually like our wives. um Pickles and peanut butter says just beer here. Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you about beer, man. um like, yeah, I don't drink beer. I go straight to whiskey. um But in the military, that's why I got around. Like white guys drink a lot of beer, man. And I had a buddy, one of my infantry buddies. This dude would drink like a case of beer a night and would get up and run 2, 3 miles a day. Uh, Man, he was a case of beer a night drinker. He would drink like a 24 pack of beer. That's every day. He was trying to suppress them demons in his head. Hey, that dude, he did a deployment as an infantryman, and man, he went through some stuff, man, and so he did that beer. He drank beer to numb the pain. Just avoid cruise ship Keisha. Cortez, facts, bro. Every cruise ship, there's several cruise ship Keishas, man. Um, they, dude, they be the entertainment just watching them just do Keisha stuff. I tell you, most of them actually be, you know, most of them be cool for the most part. Because I've talked to a few of them. Because I talk to everybody, and most of them are cool. They trying to get their guts rearranged and see some sights. For the most part, but they just Keisha's, man, and it's like they got a little money and they think they doing something, man. And so, listen, if you a young single guy and you just trying to get some cruise ships, because there's a cruise ship t-shirt on there, and you can get lucky, you know. But yeah, man, they be there looking ridiculous, all out of place and stuff. Now, if you go on Carnival, man, that's a whole nother level of cruise ship Keisha you really don't want to be around. See, I stopped doing Carnival cruises back in like 2015. I ain't did a Carnival cruise since like 2015. Got a little money, so went to start doing the better ships. But yeah, man. Yeah, Carnival, man. If Carnival's wild, if you want to party, and risk getting chlamydia or gonorrhea, Carnival's the way to go. That is the way to go. So now, Pickles and Peanut Butter say, now you tell me, yeah, hey, bro, hey, listen, man, them cruise, yeah, yeah, Carnival is a wild cruise ship, man. Yeah, they have to have a real police on there, man. Hey, fights do break out, man. I seen the dude whoop his whole family on a Carnival cruise, man. Yeah, yeah, them Carnival cruises are rough. Me and my wife, we do celebrity and Royal Caribbean boats now. We're gonna do a Virgin boat for our next cruise. We want to try Virgin just so we can see what it is, and so we probably make some content on it. But we do cruise ships like that and stuff. We're staying away from the what's the ones with the Germans on there? There's this cruise ship that the Germans like to get on. And what is it? I can't think of the name of it right now, but it's like three letters. And a lot of the Europeans, especially the Germans, like to get on this boat. And I'm gonna tell you something, man. Germans are cool, but they get asshole naked on excursions. If you go to an excursion with Germans and there's a beach there, it does do beach. If nudity is an option at the beach, Germans are taking off all their clothes. They do not have the sensibilities and hang-ups that Americans do. Germans will get naked and it don't care. They don't care how they look. They gonna take off everything. Pickles and Peanut Butter says 48 years old, got married in 2016. I held on as long as I could. I feel you, man. I feel you. I feel you. But Pickles Peanut Butter said, yeah, hey man. If you laughing at them Germans, hey bro, they get asshole naked and they will show you the whole fruit basket taking off their clothes, man. You're gonna see assholes and nuts, and cooters and all that stuff, man. If they come through the door, they get naked. That's what they do, man. They get naked. Yeah. MSC, that's the boat. MSC, a lot of Germans be on that boat. The MSC cruises, and they get asshole naked, bro. they they don't mess around. They get naked, and they all look like the people you don't want to see naked, They all look like that. And I mean other groups get naked, too. But like you tend to see better looking people. The Germans be looking terrible, and they don't care. They get naked, man. It be some dude, 56 years old, with all sorts of body hair. He gonna take off all his clothes and be strutting around that beach like he is the king of Rancho Cucamonga, straight up. Yeah, pickles and peanut butter is laughing. Yeah, bro. Yeah, now I can hear them now. Well, don't if you don't like it, don't look, man. Hey, man, they be in all their grandeur, man. They they don't no hangups whatsoever. Shout out to them crazy ass Germans, man. Yeah, Spaniards get naked too. They get naked too. Um, but a lot of them tend to look better. Italians get naked too. Italians from Italy, they get naked on them beaches too. And as you all might suspect, yes, I have been to a few beaches where nudity is an option. I'm well traveled, and so yes, I've been to beaches like that. I don't get naked. Nobody wants to see me, especially now. I look terrible. you know, But I've been to I've been to some beaches where nudity is an option, And if you want to get naked, you can get naked. It is what it is, man. Some people ain't ashamed of their bodies. I am. I'm ashamed of I look terrible. Yeah, man. But anyway, man, getting back to this election, I think it's gonna get more and more dangerous for Trump as we get closer to the actual election, man. Somebody done already tried him. The left already don't like him. Um, the RNC, they kind of hate on him as well. Um, the man is going to be under a lot of pressure, and if he overcomes that and becomes president again, I mean, he's going to be one of the greatest presidents in U.S. history, in my opinion. That's my opinion. You know, so Um, I'm thinking that a lot of what they call conservatives are going to try to piggyback off of them and try to usher in a new conservative. Look, look, I'm to me, conservatives are just as bad as the L Gibbets. They come up with a lot of reasonable ideas, stuff I don't want to. Normal people ain't worrying about that. Normal people are worrying about money, gas, and jobs. Pickles and Peanut Butter says, "Did you say you're into paranormal stuff? Very much so, sir. Sorry, I know you want to talk about politics. Hey, man, yeah, I am into the paranormal. I am into the supernatural. I am into, you know, uh, talks about aliens and all of that stuff. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm cool with that stuff, man. I like that stuff, man. We did. I've done uh haunted tours in um, different parts of Florida. I've done haunted tours in Alabama. I've done haunted tours in Louisiana. Yeah, man, I like that stuff, man. I am into that. Yeah. Yeah, me and my wife, we like that stuff. We do during the Halloween season, we go like to the haunted houses, all that stuff. Um, Pickles and peanut butter. Have you ever seen a ghost? I believe I have when I was a kid. I believe I saw ghosts. I believe I seen ghosts when I was a kid. You know, I believe I've had supernatural experiences when I was younger. As an adult, not as an adult, but my wife believes she's seen ghosts um, as an adult. I haven't. You know, Pickles and Peanut Butter says he's seen a ghost and said it followed him from his job to his home. Could be. Hey, listen, I am one of those people that believe anything is possible. The whole thing with space aliens, and I've talked about this before. I am of the position that we are not alone in this universe. Aliens, what we call aliens or extraterrestrials, have come to this planet back and forth since this planet has been into existence. I believe we were seeded here by extraterrestrials. I believe that a lot of what is believed in the holy books is actually has a lot to do with extraterrestrials. I love listening to guys like Billy Carson, back in the days, Bobby Hemmett. For you pro blacks out there, I am familiar with the works of Dr. York, Dr. Malachi Z. York. Uh, you know, uh, who's the guy from the white guy that does all of the alien talk? I can't think his name right now, but I like his stuff. I like Graham Hancock. I like a lot of his stuff. I am all into that stuff, man. Yeah, yeah. Um, Pickles and Peanut Butter says he's talking about the ghost. He said he saw it at work and didn't tell his wife. She tells me the next day, hey, there was some girl at the end of our bed. Whoa, that's scary, bro. It got in your house. Wow. Cortez Smith says, check out the real Merkaba. He says things similar. Yeah, I'll check them out, man. I'll check them out tomorrow while I'm working on stuff for my business. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, but yeah, I believe that, that stuff, that it is possible in some capacity. Alex Jones, I love Alex Jones, man. He gets outrageous. But a lot of the stuff he says, man, is true, or it's either true outright, or it has its roots in something true. You know, it's like it's an issue of conjecture. It's like Umar Johnson. Umar Johnson says a lot of stuff that is true. He just spins it into his own bullshit. Even Tariq Nasheed, I can't stand him, but he says a lot of stuff that has a point in truthfulness. It's just where they take it. That's the issue. Makaba has a lot of content. He has broken it down a lot. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna check him out, man. The what's the mortician guy? There's a mortician guy I listen to. I'm a big coast to coast guy, man. From back in the day, I used to listen to coast to coast. I grew up on coast to coast, man. So yeah, man, I like a lot of that stuff. Said I told that girl she got to go. Left my house, went back to my work. Like she caught a couple of rides high. Laugh now, but it was freaky. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Man, your house might be haunted, bro. Might be haunted. Ah, who knows? You know. I mean, if the girl left my house and went back to the girl went back to your job, huh? Man, that's scary. Yeah, yeah, man. Anything can happen, man. A lot of there's a lot of stuff, man, you can't explain in the world. Some of it can be explained by science and phenomena. And some of this stuff, man, there's a whole supernatural world, man. You know, no. Yeah, there's a supernatural world. There's things we can't explain, and like I said with the alien stuff, because I am more partial to it, and I have seen UFOs on several occasions, and I I definitely believe that with the ghosts and stuff. I believe I saw ghosts when I was a kid. I believe I had those experiences when I was younger, but not as an adult. But UFOs, I've seen UFOs as an adult, man. Yeah. Pickles and Peanut Butter says it's funny when people put rules on ghosts. Dude, they're ghosts, no rules. Right. Right. Hey, you right about that, man. But yeah. Yeah, my thing is aliens, man, because I've seen the UFOs. Yeah, man. Yeah, I've seen UFOs. I've seen unidentified flying objects. Um, the last time I seen a UFO was 2017 around April. I saw two in Illinois, um, in the Joliet area, um, during the day. That's when I saw them. I've seen UFOs in Iraq. you know, and stuff. Same pyramids in different parts of the world. Yeah, yeah. You know, I would love to find out what they have up there in Antarctica because they spend a lot of time in Antarctica, but all the information coming out of Antarctica is very murky, and there's a lot of space stuff here in Florida, a lot. I believe Florida and Colorado, in Arizona, I believe there's a lot of alien stuff in those places, man. But like I said, man, I saw two UFOs in Joliet, Illinois. Yeah, yeah, during the day, and I wasn't drinking. I didn't. I wasn't dehydrated and was hallucinating and stuff. Um, I know what I saw because I wasn't the only one to see it. You know, other people saw it, and they it was kind of blown off like, oh no, that was probably uh, weather balloons and stuff. I know what a weather balloon is, man. I know what weather balloons are. I've seen a bunch of them in the military. We use them all the time. These were UFOs. These are definitely UFOs. UFOs can't change speeds at the snap of a finger. You know, um, weather balloons can't change speeds at the snap of a finger. These things were able to change speeds, were able to stop and hover. It was UFOs, and it wasn't drones. Haha, I wasn't drinking. Hey, I wasn't drinking, bro. I'm dead serious, man. I saw the same thing in Iraq, man. Weird colors and stuff, and I've seen, uh some of the high tech bombers from the military because I was in Fort Bliss, Texas, and got a chance to see like all of them, stealth bombers and different stuff like that the Air Force was fooling around with, but what I saw wasn't there, and what I saw was very different than all of that stuff. It's like stuff you couldn't explain. And the cool thing was I wasn't the only person that saw the stuff. So, have I ever seen aliens? No, but I've seen the ships, you know. And as far as my viewpoint with aliens, number one, we can't be the only advanced life form in the universe or the universes. Number two, we have historical records that they've been coming back and forth. We just call them gods and angels and other stuff, you know. So yeah, and with all of the planets up there in the universe, you think we the only planet that can sustain life? No, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. We don't know enough to be that certain. Oh, we're on, you know. And I think once more stuff like that comes to the forefront, because the government is already admitting that we've had contact with extraterrestrials, with beings that are not of this planet, with more forthcoming stuff, we're going to learn just what has been visiting, some of what has been visiting, and um, we're going to learn some of what their technology is. It's getting harder for them to hide, you know. Cortez Smith says, I've seen greenish lights that look like shooting stars, but were close to the ground. I don't know what they were. Man, no telling. Said she by close to the ground, literally, shit by close to the ground. I literally mean like 50 feet. They look like Roman candles, but some were descending. Yeah. Man, you might have yeah, hey, anything's possible, bro. And like I said, I believe in aliens, and I don't doubt what you're saying. Hey, so I'm in one of the spots the aliens like to come to, and we have too much of an interest in the getting up there and finding out what's up there for there not to be something else up there that we're not. seeing here on this planet, man. So yeah. I like I said, I'm gonna start doing more content on that. I still got to do that video about the Statue of Liberty, aka the Statue of Lilith. But that's all it is, you know. And yeah, man, yeah, we're gonna talk about that stuff because I like talking about this stuff. Drones are a big culprit. Drones are a big culprit now. Um, that being said, some stuff drones are only so fast. Like when I saw what I saw out in Iraq and Joliet, these things were going much faster because I've been around drones. Um, in fact, I was in, I was part of a unit where we had drone pilots. We had drone engineers that operated drones as part of their military job. And I've been around military drones and I've been around commercial drones and stuff. I was even contemplating buying a drone. Drones can't, drones can only go so fast. And what I saw was much faster than drones. And they were able to stop with a greater precision, stop on a hair, which drones can't do. You know, that there's a reason that the occult is obsessed with Saturn. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Man, that's yeah. The planets up there, they all have a story, and they all have a role in what's going on here. The stories may be things of the past, and there may be stories to be made in the future. But those planets are up there for a reason, and it's not just to decorate the sky. Those other planets are up there, and they have a story to tell. Mars. It's looking like there may have been like advanced life form Mars and not simply just cells and stuff like that. They're just looking like there may be advanced life. There may have been advanced life on Mars, and that there may be still advanced life, or at least remnants of it. Um, so we'll see, man. Hopefully, we'll see a little more in my lifetime. Nobody's promised tomorrow. I don't know how long I'll live, but I would love to see. Well, I think I would. I think I would love to see uh, definitive proof of life from other places outside of this world. You know, I hope it's life that's cool. I hope it ain't something like these alien horror movies that I like to watch. I would hate for it to be like that. So hey, we're gonna come and invade your planet and kick your ass inside out. I don't want them aliens. Stay where you at. Stay where you at. But yeah, man. Yeah, I believe different species of aliens have visited, different species of extraterrestrials have visited this planet. Some that look like us, some that look very different than us. Some hostile, some friendly. Aliens, ghosts, war, whatever ends me, just make it quick. Yeah. I feel you on that, man. I feel you on that. If it's gonna be doom, make it quick. Yeah, that's all I ask. So even when they talk about the war in heaven, man, it's a war. It's an extraterrestrial war. The whole thing. I'm gonna tell y'all a little something, and people get mad at me when I say this, but when you think about it, it's true. The war in heaven was really about sex. It was really about bitches. It's really about bitches. It was really about sex. Women. you know, Women. The biggest thing that the angels did that pissed off God is messing with human women. They were just rebelling because they like human women. They they like that. They want to get a hold of that cooter. Yeah, man. So anyway, man, I'm about to shut this down. I appreciate you guys being here. Do me a favor, for those of y'all listening in the clouds, hit the like button on the way out, man. I appreciate everybody being here. This is Mr. Royce Media. Like, share, and subscribe. Get the comment sections. Um, and I'll probably do another video tomorrow. We'll see how my technology holds up, because right now that is my biggest hurdle is my technology, man. You know. Cortez Smith said, I heard somebody say Outkast Elevator song was about aliens. I'm not sure. It probably was, man. I have to listen to it and see. But hey, gentlemen, I appreciate you all being here, man, and you guys have a good one. Hey, Pickles and Peanut Butter, I appreciate you stopping through, brother. Hope to see you on my next live stream. Y'all take it easy, man. I'm out. Peace.